Hi guys, welcome to the channel. So as the title of this video suggests, we are today going to talk about the Pomodoro technique. So today we are going to have a glance at what is Pomodoro technique and what are the various steps which are involved in this particular technique. So first of all, when and by whom this particular Pomodoro technique was developed. The Pomodoro technique was developed by a university student by then naming Francesco Cirillo in 1980s. So he developed this technique keeping in mind that individuals should have improvement in their productivity. Now one question arises that what is Pomodoro? So Pomodoro is an Italian word which means tomato. So why this word tomato, or we can call it Pomodoro, was introduced for this technique? So basically Francesco Cirillo used a tomato shaped timer to measure his 25-minute sessions. So these sessions were in the form of intervals. So he named these individual intervals as Pomodoros. So he was using a tomato shaped timer. So this is from where this word Pomodoro came, and 25-minute sessions were used. So these sessions were named as Pomodoros. And as I have told you earlier that this word Pomodoro is derived from word tomato, and this technique was developed to increase the productivity of individuals while they are working. Now without further ado, let's jump straight into these steps involved in this particular technique. So step number 1 is choose a task which you want to perform. So this is the first step. Now moving on to step number 2, that is set a timer and remove any of the distractions. Timer will be set for 25 minutes. So these will be the 25-minute sessions. Step number 3 is perform the particular task with full concentration for straight out 25 minutes without any distractions. If any of these distracting thoughts come into your mind, what you're going to do is take a piece of paper, separate piece of paper, write it down there and leave it for then. Okay, and you are going to think about those things afterwards the sessions. So this way you are going to have no distractions and you're going to focus on your work straight out for 25 minutes. Now moving on to step number 4, that is take break for 5 minutes after this first 25-minute session. This 5-minute break is going to rejuvenate your mind and prepare yourself for the upcoming next interval, next session of 25 minutes. Now the 5th and the last step is repeat all these 4 steps 4 times in a row and then take a longer break for 20 minutes. So this is all about the Pomodoro technique, and these are the 5 simple steps which are involved in this Pomodoro technique. Now talking a little bit about this technique. There is no doubt that this technique is going to work for many of the individuals who want to increase their productivity, but keep in mind that we all are different. So some of us may require modifications, or many of us, I would say, require some modifications in this technique, because we all individuals are different and there are high chances that a single particular technique having those 5 steps is not going to work for everybody in the same manner. So many of us would be required to change some of the steps or to modify some of the steps so that this technique would work better for us. So what I would suggest is that take this technique and these 5 steps as a blueprint for yourself and develop from there a new kind of a technique which works for yourself. This way you will be having a personalized Pomodoro technique which is going to work for you and which is going to get maximum potential out of yourself. And with that, it's a wrap for this video. This was a little brief about the Pomodoro technique and the steps involved, and a little bit about what I think about this technique and what could be some of the drawbacks. I wouldn't say drawbacks, this is kind of a blueprint for us to develop some of the techniques by ourselves which works for us. If any of you have applied this technique in your life, do let me know in the comments down below what are your thoughts about this particular technique. Any doubts related to this technique are also welcomed. We are going to discuss that. I'll be more than happy if you could share your feelings about this technique in the comments down below. I hope this video is going to be a little bit helpful for you. So far that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching.